For over 35 years, I have worked with men who've committed adultery and women who've committed adultery. I have seen their stories. They come in on Monday, they do intensives. I do my assessment on their personal story, their marriages. I've done thousands of these. And what the story usually is the 50 to 60-year-old man sitting in my office who got caught having a couple affairs, etc. When I go through his history, sometimes there's sexual abuse. He never told anybody. This is covered in Sex, Men, and God. There's a whole chapter on sexual abuse. Then I find out that he was into self-behavior and pornography for decades, all the way through his marriage. Oftentimes they have a sexual addiction component. Not all, but oftentimes they do. Now that attaches their brain, because 1 Corinthians 6:18, it says that when we sin sexually, we sin against our own body. And they sin against their own body, repeating the lust process, attaching it to the highest chemical reward center in their brain. Now they're attaching to lust, and they want to now seek it out. This is what happens. Lust, in their teen years or 20 years, 30 years, okay? Then they start looking for opportunities, and then they end up at a work event, a conference, a situation where they think there's going to be no accountability, and they meet another person who's on exactly the same path, lusting after a man. And then they meet, and the whole thing goes on, and it can go on for months, years, or just a one time. But however, they both have been noosed with a secret. And now the secret continues, and their self-esteem decreases. They don't feel clean before God because they haven't confessed to another person. So the secret's still there. And then that starts to limit them in their life. That can make their marriage not really healthy. And then they go do it again. And then when they get caught, now we're into the death phase of lust, where it can end the marriage, or it can end a business. It can destroy ministries. How many of us have been aware of ministries and businesses that have been destroyed by these kind of things? And the Word of God's simply trying to say, you can be safe from this. You can fill yourself up, know the Word of God, have a community where you talk to people, and be safe.
For more content and resources to help in your healing journey with Christ, make sure to follow Dr. Doug Weiss on Facebook and Instagram. If you'd like to share full episodes of this show with friends and family, subscribe to Healing Time Ministries on YouTube, and feel free to leave us a comment on any of Dr. Doug's social media platforms. Our team would love to hear your feedback and learn how Healing Time is impacting your life, your church, and your ministry.